Welcome to another lesson of Microsoft Excel. So in this lesson we're going to learn about Excel VBA. So what is Excel VBA? So VBA stands for Visual Basics for Applications. Well, VBA is a dependent software which works like on the background of a software or dependent on a specific software, and it can run behind it to do the coding. Well, why is this VBA used? Just as I said, well, it's like a coding for any type of programming. So let's start with Excel, okay, as this is Excel VBA. So we're gonna do coding on Excel, but as this is a beginner friendly or a basic lesson, so we're gonna show you just the basics of how VBA works, and I'm gonna also show you later on that how macro works and how is it correlated. Well, another thing what I'm going to show you or tell you is that VBA works and I've told you that it works on a background, but it is a really dependent software. It cannot work without another thing which is called a macro. Okay, so first off, what I'm going to show you is how you can start opening up VBA. Well, VBA, you might not find it anywhere on these tabs. Even if you search for VBA, you might not find it. You might find just view macro, but you might not find what VBA is. So if you want to search or maybe open up VBA in Microsoft Excel from your default Microsoft Excel, you will not find it, but you have to do some customizations. So first off, what we're going to do is just go to File, click on File with your left mouse key, and go to this interface. Now what we're gonna do is just go to Options and then go to Customize ribbon, okay, and then from there just select on Developer Mode, and when you click on Developer Mode, just mark it and then press on OK, and here you will see that the Developer tab will open up. Just click on it and you can see that VBA or VB, Visual Basics, has appeared up right over here. Well, this is the Visual Basics. So when you click on Developer Mode, just click on it. Now if you search for Visual Basics VB, it will just open up. And so what I'm going to do is just click on it, left mouse, and you can see that this is the interface of VBA. Well, VBA is kind of a really old type of interface. As you can see that this is quite like the 2000s interface which you see right here, but because this has not been updated ever since, but a lot of new commands has been added, so you might see it in here. So as you can see here, this is the interface of Microsoft Excel or VBA. Well, when I cut Excel, you might not be able to open up VBA because this is a dependent software, just as I said, and you can see that only Excel is running, so you have the Excel icon right over here. Okay, so as this is book 1, and you can see that there are a lot of sheets. Well, these are the Excel objects. Well, another thing is that your VBA is an OOP based software, or a background software which works. So what is OOP? It's object oriented programming language. Okay, so what is this object oriented programming language? We know that human languages are totally different from computer language, right? Because computer language only understands 0 and 1, which is binary. Sometimes you might also think that it's showing you the output of different things like A, B, C, D, 1, 2, however number that is, lots of symbols and icons, but all of them are processed through 0 and 1, right? But so what we have here, let's do something. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and how we sum this. So what we do is just equal sum and then select this whole thing, and then it will just give you the sum, right? But if you type in plus right over here, it will not understand, right? Because there are no commands or functions such as plus, but it understands sum. So we know that there are certain commands which a software understands too, but we can change a lot of things by using VBA by coding there. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, obviously when we use VBA, we can use a lot of new stuffs and a lot of other things, even sometimes without putting any values in the sheet and just doing it on VBA, which we have right here. So there are 1 2 3 4 5 sheets, as you can see, 1 2 3 4 5, and all of them are named. And this is the workbook which I'm working on right now. And when you click on it, you will see that the properties interface will also open up, and you can see that there are some like informations right here, and this is the intermediate page where you can add in or put in commands. Okay, and you can also put in another one, okay, which is right here. Let's say compile VBA project. Okay, and you can see that there are some like tabs: file, edit, view, insert, format, debug, run, tools, add-ins, windows, and just help. So these are all of it. If you want to cut it, you can just cut it. You don't have to worry about it. Just when you click on it, and it will just open up another page. But intermediate page is another one where you can put in commands and play them or like apply them immediately. Okay, so another thing what you have here is like save and this other stuffs, which is also play and other things right over here. So this is how the VBA looks like, the interface. So let's do something like even if I'm gonna I'm gonna show you later on that how macro works, but let's say how it works in VBA, okay? Because this is the basics of VBA. If you wanna like, let's do something like record a macro. Let's say this one, and we're gonna do is just let's say some open parentheses. While this is done, stop recording. Now we're gonna go to VBA, and you can see in the modules there are some things that happened right here, which modules were not visible previously, right? So as I've recorded a macro, now modules are now present, and you can see that there are several commands going on. Well, these are the computer commands which understood or that appeared up in VBA, and now we can also use it again. Let's say C V. Okay, well, you can apply it again, or you can do another thing by Control C and pasting it here, and then let's say play it. Let's say let's delete this. My bad. Delete this, and now I'm gonna do is put in the macro run. Well, if you're gonna run it, you can do like other stuff too, because this is how your VBA works. And what is VBA or VB? So an object-oriented programming language, which is OOP. Okay, so what is this OOP? So when you wanna like know what OOP is, so as I've told you, object-oriented programming language. So all of the information that you're gonna gather here is going through OOP or object-oriented programming language. So let's start with first the cells. Okay, well, each of the cells are the ranges, okay, or the range or the array where you're gonna put in the data. So these cells are really important, and these are the OOPs. Okay, and the languages are totally different in Visual Basics and other stuff. Well, there are just commands. If you've seen C++, well, those are different, but it's quite like a lot similar to, you know, VB and this C++. Okay, well, C++ works on programming language, and this is also one of it, like VBA, which also works on programming language. So what you have to do is obviously select the cells, which is the data. Okay, so without the cells, you will obviously not get any data. Even if you like, let's say you want to like sum here. Okay, let's say sum, my bad, equal sum, and you don't have any data here, close the parentheses, hit enter, and you will see 0, obviously. And even there are some like formulas which is gonna show you NA or name, or maybe like no reference found. Well, obviously those. So obviously selecting a cell or selecting a range is really important in Microsoft Excel, and those are the OOPs. Okay, so keep those in mind, and this is how you can just work on VBA. Well, this is not advanced, but this is just the basics. So this is, well, all of these are related to VB, and this is the like the code section which you can work on. Okay, and Another thing what I'm gonna say to you is that VBA absolutely works on literally anything or any format you're gonna do, and it's just gonna like cope up with it or just show you the codes on how it's gonna work. Okay, so as I've showed you or told you a lot of description, so hope you understood everything, and thank you for watching this video.